Episode 5. We're going to be talking about we're going to do a build and price on the 2023 Toyota, and we're going to cover all your don't be fooled information so that you don't spend, well, years waiting for a Toyota that you thought would get built, that you were told would get built, because salespeople are sometimes pretty slimy, and it shouldn't be that way. I think there should be a forced license if you want to sell anything. Even if you want to sell a pair of shoes, go get a license, and when you lose your license selling shoes, you can't sell anything the rest of your life. You can't sell real estate. If you're deemed untrustworthy, let's just cut them out from selling unless they're doing it on a personal level. But anyways, when you're a bad salesman at one dealership, I don't see how you can bounce from dealership to dealership, robbing people and just staying, making a fortune for 1 year. Then your reputation goes down the toilet, clockwise in our region, counterclockwise if you're on the southern hemisphere. But that's how toilets flush, folks. But these people should get flushed.
How do you know that? I never checked that.
Episode of The Simpsons from like 20 years ago.
Okay. That's why.
Now, let's talk about the Toyota RAV4. We've got very good looking vehicle. Do you want to talk you're the design pro here.
Gorgeous is the right word. I cannot say better than that. I love the look. The design is awesome. I love the square SUV, so that's perfect for me.
It's pretty square, folks. You've got, strong lines, quick cuts, nothing's rounded off on this vehicle. It's not a triangular. It's not the Santa Cruz, which is just 10,000 triangles put together to be called a truck when it's really just a car. The Santa Cruz is a fantastic car.
And I love the color that we see on the screen.
I do like this color, but honey, computer colors are so different. It's not the same. It's so different. Now we've got someone in the group here, Ukulele Cherry. I think the 2024 Jeep Wranglers are hideous. They certainly are different. I do like the look of the new Wrangler. I just need to do a little more homework if they've changed up that transmission. I know they don't leak like crazy from the roof the way they used to. But we've got the RAV4 here now. What RAV4 would we get? Well, before we talk about which one we would get and what you need to know so you don't get fooled, let's actually look at some hopefully real world photos, because you cannot trust the computer generated ones, the digital ones, but that is an actual red. Good mags. Toyota for the longest time had very boring silver mags, basically no matter what model you got. Double exhaust, so Toyota starting to actually listen to consumers and be less boring. People like double exhaust. Those are some good looking lights, nice angles. And it doesn't have a 20-year-old engine the way the 4Runner does. So 4Runner, Tacoma, they take a lot of gas, old technology. We'll see when the new Tacoma comes out if they can improve fuel economy. But the new Tundra came out. They came out with basically the Ford's EcoBoost engine. It's a 3.5 liter twin turbo, but it's not very fuel efficient. It's less fuel efficient than Ford's, even though they've got the advantage of having the brand new technology. Mind you, Ford just brought out a new edition of the 3.5 liter twin turbo V6, producing 500 pound-feet of torque, 400 horsepower. So just because a block can be like an old block, when you do new additions, sometimes they end up with more power or more fuel efficiency. But we've got new engines coming out from Toyota and actually huge power. It's wild to put Toyota and power in the same sentence, but the plug-in is powerful. You're not going to feel powerful when you wait quite a while for it. If you can find one available now, wow, you just got a big buck with a huge rack, once in a lifetime.
It will go quick.
It'll go quick because in our area, if you get one of these vehicles at MSRP, you can sell it for more and make money. So there's your new Toyota. Let's actually look at which one we would buy. Try to get back to where we were. Let's see how easy it is to use their site. So not too bad here. We've got the 22 set up, and that was actually something I didn't like about their website. When you're looking at all the models, it is cool how you can look at all their models on one page. And they're showing us all the GR86s, which is cool. At Ford, you know, they just show you the one F-150 and it's a picture of a red cap. So not very exciting, not very enticing to go click on it. But here they've got so much, it can be a little confusing. So we talked about how the new Camry actually looks good. Yeah, it looks really good. Well done, Toyota. I never thought I'd give Toyota compliments on style since they lost it in the 90s. My Toyota MR2 looks great, and so does the Supra from those years.
Since few years, they became to have a US look because they were stuck in the same look for a long time.
Yeah.
But since maybe 2 to 4 years, they finally tried to change a lot of model, not just a little change, but a complete remodel.
Yeah. And it's going well because look, the Tacoma is going to get remodeled almost certainly. That's the old one. And it's almost certainly going to get remodeled into this. So the Tacoma is going to look like a small Tundra.
And we saw
I'd bet $20 on that.
We saw one, I don't remember, I guess it was in Florida that we were.
Yep.
And it looks bigger.
Yep. Look at this. You go for and here's the problem with Toyota. Even when they've got new technology, they're still having issues with fuel economy. You've got the Tundra iForce Max. It's a hybrid. 20 miles per gallon, 24 miles per gallon, city versus highway. But you look at the regular one, 18 and 24. That's not much of a difference. Why would I spend extra money? Because Toyota charges extra money when you want anything that's written hybrid on it. They charge a lot of extra money. So you need to do the math and figure out if it actually makes sense for you. So that's the first piece of advice I've got on the RAV4. Before you go ahead and jump, let's look at the beginning pricing on the RAV4. Now here's the confusion. You've got a 22 and then a 23. But you have to look really closely at the small print to understand why there's $1,000 difference between these two models. So naturally, I came on the website, I click on the one that's $1,000 less because I like saving money, like anyone. No one's like, I want to spend more money for no reason. And they're not telling you the reason very clearly. They need to change the color or add, you know, RAV4 is written really, really big, but it'd be nice if that 2022 was written a little bit bigger, a little more bold to it. And here's another thing that's annoying me. They're showing you a picture. Now, okay, in light gray, you can see it, $39,875 US dollars is the model shown. Mind you, the big attractive price, that actually catches your eye, $27,900. That's $12,000 off. I call BS on that. Don't be fooled. Don't fall for the picture here. It's just not right that they do this. Like, show me a model. Ford's doing the opposite. When you're looking at all their models, they're showing you an F-150 that's a regular cab. They're showing you the most mundane, boring model. But you know, when you're at least the starting price is what you see. And then you click on it, you play around with it, and you can build yourself an incredible looking machine. But here they're showing you an incredible price and an incredible looking machine, and it's misleading. But let's not be misled. Let's jump in. Now, the plug-in, here's a big don't be fooled. Most places you're going to be waiting the sleazy salesperson. If they're not all sleazy. You got some reputable people in all domains, and you've got some bad people in all domains. But sometimes you're going to be told it's 2-3 months or 1 year. It's not. At a lot of dealerships, you're looking at it roughly, let's say roughly 3 years, because some places will be 1.5 years and other places will be 4 or 4.5 years based on their waiting list. So shop your dealer, ask them what their waiting list is, how many roughly they get per year, how many people are waiting, and then do the math yourself. You probably will catch them and they'll only realize after they've told you that they've actually accidentally told you how long it's going to be without getting to slide in their sly little lie. Now, the RAV4, you can see if it's a plug-in, it's considerably more, but do keep in mind, for most people, this is going to be a vehicle that's 100% electric and a whole lot more fun to drive than the regular model. Now, the reason it's a whole lot more fun to drive is because it has a whole lot more power. And let's say you've got, what is it, about 70 kilometers. So that would be about 40 miles, 50 miles of all electric mode. Of course, you're going to get more electric driving in city than on the highway. So when you're driving electric, it's the opposite of gas. Gas engines petrol engines, fuel engines, they're more efficient on the highway, less efficient in the city. Well, electric, it's the opposite. Much more efficient in the city than on the highway. So if this can be an all-electric vehicle for you and you're going to keep it 10 years, maybe it makes sense to spend an extra, what is this, $27,975 as a starting price versus $42,340.
Big difference.
I'm not a mathematician, but what is that? 15,000. I'm happy we got it at the same time. So let's not build the plug-in. Mind you, that is the model I prefer because of the power. So it doesn't matter what we build, it's more about the exercise of doing it and where our advice is. Now, we both work relatively close to where we live, but we don't keep vehicles long enough. So you could think the extra money isn't worth it, but we know that the resale on the plug-in is incredible. So if we could get a plug-in, or if we get in line now to have one later on, I know the resale and cost of ownership is going to be unbelievably low, just like the Ford Maverick. Great purchase, unbelievable resale value. You sell it for more than what you bought it for if it's the hybrid. And also now listed by Kelley Blue Book. Kelley Blue Book listed it as the lowest cost of ownership based on 5 years. And that's what we need to look at. Cost of ownership. The Edge is a winner on cost of ownership. The Ford Ranger is a winner on cost of ownership and reliability. Same thing with the Edge. It's known on a 3-year ownership experience because the cost is so low. It's considered, that's true reliability is how much it's going to cost you, while the Edge is a huge winner. The Bronco's been listed as a huge winner because it's got the lowest cost of ownership for its category, and the Ford Maverick. This plug-in is going to have great cost of ownership. You could drive, we could do our trip to Florida and just stop for gas. You don't have to stop and charge it. We can stop and charge it once we get to the hotel down in Florida. So I actually would take this, and I would actually like it because it's actually considerably powerful. So let's, we like it a little, you like things a little more basic. I like things a little more luxurious. So it's important to know what makes you happy. And you can always look at view details. So I'll zoom in on that at any time. I can't zoom here, but right down here, there's a little button called view details. So you can look what's in the XSE. And then you can read through, 19-inch 5-spoke black painted and machined sport alloy wheels, bi-LED projector, low and high beam headlights, vertical LED, accent lights. So you can read through the whole list and decide online without speaking to a salesperson, is this the right vehicle for me, or can I get by with just the lower model? So let's say we select this because I do like, the interior is it's got their sort of kind of leather interior. So it's definitely something that I would go for. And then I want to start building it. So Toyota, are you going to make it easy or hard? Well, you can compare models. That's fun with their website. I do like that. But so far, I'm having trouble actually getting a monthly price from them, which is pretty annoying.
Because it's written contact a dealer.
Yeah, that's not fun, Toyota. So here you can actually go through, compare your models, see what you're getting, what's standard for one versus not standard. So what's cool right here, you can look, Toyota allows you to compare the XSE versus the SE. You can go down, you can say, okay, well, which one has the 10.5-inch Toyota audio multimedia, 6 speakers with wireless car, the sound system and the nice screen. Okay, well, it's standard on the XSE and it's not even optional on the standard model. Then you see, the standard model does have an 8-inch Toyota audio screen with speakers, and you can decide easily what type of equipment you want. Now, I'm definitely an XSE guy because I like JBL premium audio, including a subwoofer and amplifier.
Wow.
So you'll just want to look through the whole list. You can then click, exterior, interior, safety, mechanical, and performance. And here is why I would definitely go for the plug-in. It's powerful. It's got about 300 and some odd pound-feet of torque, and it's also an eCVT. So don't be fooled. Earlier in the show, I poo-pooed on CVTs. They are bad. They are problematic. They could cost you a ton of money, but an eCVT from Toyota or Ford is incredible. It's very reliable. It's a big gear with some smaller gears. Your Maverick, do you want to talk to us about how it feels to actually drive it? Does it feel like a transmission that is slipping or hesitating?
Smooth. It never kicks. No, we don't feel that it changed the gears because it doesn't have gears. So it's just smooth all the way. Yeah, I love it so much. So yeah, you have trouble you can only compare, select it, but they said limited inventory in your area. Please contact the dealer.
So let's go back. Maybe that's why I can't build it the way you can on the Ford website, or
maybe
even Hyundai, Kia.
If you didn't take a plug-in,
that's
maybe
right.
The regular one.
A vehicle that's actually available, which is kind of cool. They're like, no, don't look at the monthly because you're never going to get that. You're never going to get a 2023. And the area I put in is the area code 90210. So I'm sorry, it's a US. It's a US zip code that I actually remember.
Yeah, on this one I saw, if you go up, get a quote.
So let's try and get a quote.
Oh, contact information.
Now
they don't want you to.
They don't want me to, and don't be fooled. The 2.5 liter, it sounds like a big, powerful 4-cylinder, but it's not that powerful. You had the 2.5 liter, and I found it lackluster. How did you find it? Did you find it was plenty of power for everything you need to do, or did you feel that sometimes there's... No, your Toyota RAV4, because you had a Toyota RAV4. Yeah. You had the 2.5 liter engine, of course, because this was in 2018. And of course, Toyota's still using the same engine because, well, it's Toyota. Tell me about...
As a new car, it was going well. I cannot say.
Did it have enough power for you?
If we compare to your Lightning, no. if we compare to
pathetic compared to the Lightning, but the price is a little different.
If we compare to a regular car in 2018, because if we want to compare the same thing, it was good. It was not better than anyone or less good. So
now here's the thing, Marie doesn't press on the pedal. She's a responsible adult, and I am not. I drive like a child. So the 203 horsepower from the RAV4 2.5 liter for me is total garbage, and for her
was good.
Is good. And that's, this is why it's important to know your habits, what you like, test drive as many vehicles as possible. Because for me, 203 horsepower is just bad. Now, I do like the fact that if you go with a RAV4, do you want to take care of Lily? She's causing quite a bit of trouble. But if you do pick the RAV4 gasoline, that's an 8-speed automatic transmission, and it is a very reliable one. The engine is very reliable. Both are a little boring. And speaking of the powertrain, I was disappointed. I did do some snow drifting and felt that the vehicle wasn't very intelligent in regards to, trying to drift in the snow, but have a nice line and not, kind of just slide off where I don't want to go. And I didn't feel that the system was very intuitive about knowing what I'm trying to do. It just seemed kind of like confused. It kind of felt like the computer system was being like, I'm a Toyota. Why are you putting the pedal to the floor? I'm not made for this. I kind of felt like the car knew we weren't a good fit. I did not feel very welcomed in the Toyota RAV4. Mind you, the plug-in, if we go back to the plug-in, tons of power. I would have a RAV4 Prime plug-in any day of the week. And I also like Toyota's TRD. When they put TRD on something, I like the look. Mind you, they're never really all that off-road because they like to not do things like have tow hooks. Like, they sometimes miss the mark on little things. Not the end of the world. Now, Toyota, your site is, I'd like to get out, and you're not making it easy on me. So I'm having trouble navigating on this site. So that's, I guess, a potential criticism. Maybe it's just me. Maybe I'm a dummy. Now let's see, the Highlander. I love the Highlander. Love the 4Runner. Mm-hmm. Wish the top came off the way that it does on the Bronco. And I'm looking for the RAV4. So let's take the 23 RAV4 here. Again, beautiful vehicle. The 2.5 liter, if you're not power hungry, is going to be fine. It's going to be super reliable. The transmission, super reliable, fine. If you start to press on it and you want, power to really pass people, if you want to have fun in the snow, fun doesn't work with this 203 horsepower engine. Reliability certainly does. So navigating here, vehicles, we've picked the RAV4. I want to build it. They're not making it easy at all, but there is a tiny little button in the corner, white and black.
And you came back at the same place. Yeah.
I've come back to the same place, so I want the plug-in, and they're not making it all that easy. Now, the hybrid limited. Let's see the hybrid powertrain. What do we get? Are we getting a little bit more horsepower? Yes, we are. 219 horsepower. Still not enough. For me, the only vehicle, and it's all about knowing yourself. You've got to test drive these vehicles. It's the only way. And during the test drive, the dealership, they make money. They make money to give you service. Put that pedal to the metal. If having power to take over a vehicle is important to you, you need to try that out, because sometimes numbers don't say the full truth either. Because if a transmission hesitates, or if you have turbo lag, you could have a powerful vehicle. Or here, a criticism of my Mustang. People call me a Ford fanboy, but I have criticisms of everything. I'm realistic. My Mustang is unbelievably powerful, but I don't like how when I press down on the pedal, I can almost count 1, 2, 3. Wow, this is fast. The problem is between 1, 2, and 3, the vehicle's accelerating, but it's not giving me that huge kickback in the seat. So I'm not getting that fun, that adrenaline rush, that fun that I need. And I'm actually accelerating.
That you have with your Lightning.
That I have to my Lightning. The Lightning's incredible. I press on it, it takes off. An F-150 EcoBoost engine, 3.5 liter or 2.7 liter. I love those things. You just hit the pedal and boom, you get kicked back in your seat and it takes off. To me, how fast the vehicle is on the quarter mile isn't nearly as important as how fun the vehicle is to drive. And delayed response from when you put the pedal down to when you actually kick back in the seat, it's not great. So the Mustang GT has a delayed response. It's my major criticism with the vehicle. And it doesn't have it on the 2.3 liter. So I really like the 2.3 liter engine in the Mustang, because you press the pedal and that thing gives you instant power. Instant power, super important for me. Rev Nation, how many vehicles do you two have? A lot.
Too much.
Right now we're on a diet, so we're very reasonable right now.
You're not reasonable right now.
Super reasonable. We only have, I think, 4. We have the MR2, we have the Mustang GT, we have the Lightning, and we have your Maverick. So right now we only have 4.
I only have 1, he has the rest.
Sometimes we have 6 or 7, but that's usually when Matty starts to get pretty crabby and I cut it down. And I do have the Wild Track Bronco on its way.
Yeah, and Sanjib asked if we know about the Rivian. We don't have it here, but I knew that John was doing some research sometimes on it.
Smaller truck, I like the look. There's a lot behind the Rivian that I like. I think it's got a cool design. I think it'd be a great vehicle to lease, but it's not the type of vehicle I would want to have long term, because it's all about lack of service. Just like Tesla, I don't want to buy a used Tesla because of lack of service. Now, Tesla's going to try to tell you, no, we send a technician to your place, and it's incredible. Well, there's also a lot of stories of that technician not showing up. So already you can't get into your vehicle because of the door lock problem. And then you're still locked out of your vehicle for another 3 weeks until they reschedule and come back later. You already took a day off work to be there when the technician is there. I'm sorry, I want to be able to, Ford roadside assistance or Toyota, same thing. You call the number they give you and a tow truck comes and picks up the vehicle, brings it to the dealership. You get to continue working. You're not bothered. They fix it. They send it back to you. Simple. I like it when it is simple. So
that's a good explanation.
I cannot make it around on this vehicle. I can't, get a monthly out of it. So in my opinion, big fail.
So for
certain aspects.
Build and price, you need to go at a dealership.
So for a building price,
that's the conclusion.
It's a little lousy. I get to see the price, but I don't know what the interest rate is. I don't know what the monthly is. I don't know what the lease versus the purchase is. So Ford's website is miles ahead on this. And Scotty Kilmore just came out with a video, says Ford, no more dealers. That's not happening, folks. Ford's going to continue to have dealers, but they're going to be much, as the time moves on, it's going to be all about service, quality experience, and not so much about price. We already see it in the world of electric vehicles. As of 2024, there's going to be one fixed price. There's going to, dealerships aren't going to be able to ask for more or less. It's going to be one price. That's part of the new contracts going down for EVs. And we're going to eventually, I'm positive, as long as Jim Farley's at the head of things, it's going to continue to be that way in regards to, it's going to become that way for the gasoline powered vehicles. Because one thing people like about the Tesla experience is whether you're a mouthy 22-year-old or you're a really kind retiree that doesn't want to, shake the boat and doesn't want to get into a verbal altercation with the salesperson, everyone's going to get the same price. So it's just going to be a fair deal, a fair price for everyone. I think that's the future, and also actually having a point of service. So poo-poo on Tesla for that. The point of services, there's not as many as there needs to be. And I'm sorry, you can't just have a showroom where you go and sit in the vehicle. You need to be able to talk to a real professional. You need to be able to have service people there to, service people are great when they're really experienced in your vehicle. Look, heck, what is it? Our King Ranch, that was, 10, 12 years old, 15 years old. It wouldn't run. A mechanic had it, non-Ford mechanic had it for 3 weeks, spent 4 hours on it, couldn't find the problem. The dispatch at my Ford dealership was like, oh, what year? Oh, that's probably your fuel module in the back. It's actually outside the gas tank. We could just switch that for you, and good chances it's going to fix your problems. $89 part, half an hour of work. My truck was back on the road, running and growling just great.
That's the big difference. That's a real service.
That's real service. You need these service points with experienced people.
We don't want to trade Tim Bars for a robot.
yeah, that's right. We don't want Tim Bart to be replaced by a robot. All right, so that's the show for tonight.